Hello, welcome to our class. This is a continuation of the last class, which was based on product. So, in the last class, we saw the words that go together with products, like product launch, product development, or product manager, or product department. Now, we have to look at the ways we use to describe products. So, in this class, we are going to use the example of cars to show how we describe product, or what we call product description. And after, in another class, we are going to describe other products just to show you how these things are done in practice. So, after this class, you can describe the car you have. Why choosing the cars? Because I hope everybody loves cars. So, that is why we chose to describe cars. So, how do we do that? Let's go. So, one of the ways we can describe cars is by knowing the make, right? So examples of makes of cars or vehicles are these. We have General Motors, we have Ford, we have Fiat, we have Peugeot, we have Toyota, we have Honda, Mercedes, BMW, Volkswagen, Kia, Hyundai, and the other ones, Ferrari, for example. These are what we call the makes of vehicles, the examples of makes. So you can describe your car using the make of the car. Another way you can describe your car is by the body style. What is a body style? You can have a pickup truck. You can say your car is a sports utility vehicle, SUV. S means sports, U means a utility, and V comes from vehicle. So we say SUV means sports utility vehicle. You can also describe your car as a hatch or hatchback, as a minivan, as a sedan, as a coupe or coupe, which is French word. You can also describe your car as a sports car or convertible car. So let's see examples of this. You see the picture so that we can easily identify. So this is an example of a pickup truck. This is an example of an SUV. This is an example of a hatchback, like Honda Fit, Mercedes Class A, examples of hatchback. This is an example of a minivan. So we have this from Chrysler, we have Toyota Sienna, you have another one from Honda, the examples, and you have a Carnival from Kia. So these are examples of what we call minivans. This is an example of a sedan. It's here. Coupe or coupe is this is an example of it. This the way it goes. It's always very extended towards the back, and then if you look at this and look at this, you see that this one goes to the back. So this is a typical coupe car. So these are examples of cars, and then we have more. This is an example of a sports car, which is a Ferrari or McLaren and the other ones, a sports car. This is an example of a convertible car because here it's open, it's a convertible. Then we can also describe the cars using the doors. They have number of doors. This one has two doors. You have one door here and one door the other side. So this is called a two-door car. This is an example of a four-door car. It has one, two, and the other side one, two. You have four doors. And then this is an example of a car with a wing door. The doors are like the wings of birds. Call it a wing doors. So, in terms of describing the body style and the doors, these are the examples I have shown you. We can also describe a car looking at the gear transmission system. The gear transmission system, we have the manual gear shift, we have the automatic gear shift, we have the pedal shifter. We also use speed, we say 4-speed gear, 5-speed gear. It can be 8-speed, or today I think we have up to 9-speed gear cars. So for the gear transmission system, we have the examples here. Here we have this. We have automatic gear shift. That's an example of it. Here we have the manual gear shift. We have the pedal shifter. So these are examples of the gear transmission system. Now we can also describe a car using the source of power, like gasoline. Can be gasoline, ethanol, can be hybrid. Hybrid means a combination of two. It can be gasoline electric or ethanol electric. So that's a hybrid. So we have a gasoline, we have ethanol, we have a hybrid, we have electric vehicle. All right. So for electric vehicle, just to show you here what makes it different is that for electric vehicle we have to recharge. This is an example of electric vehicle, so it has to be recharged by an electricity. All right, so we can also describe a car by looking at the capacity of the engine. We say this is a 1.0 liter engine, 1.6 liter, 1.8. Generally, we say 1.0, 1.6, 1.8, but really what it means is 1.0 liter, 1.6 liter, 1.8, 2.0 liter, 2.5 liter, 3.5 liter. You have, I think, 5 point something, 5.7, 5.8 liters. Okay. So what it means is that if the capacity of the engine is big, the fuel consumption also is going to be big. If you have a 1 liter engine, it means that the fuel consumption will be very low, which means you can travel many kilometers with 1 liter of gasoline. That's what it means. And if the engine capacity is very high, you are going to travel only a few kilometers with 1 liter of fuel. Okay, so we say fuel consumption. What do we call fuel? Fuel is what it can be gasoline, it can be ethanol, it can be electric. So that is source of the power. All right. We can also describe a car by the number of seats or number of passengers you can carry. It can be 2 seats, which means generally sports cars are 2 seats. It can be 5, it can be 7 or 8. Like SUVs, they carry some of them 7, some of them 8. So it depends on the size of the vehicle. So this one can be sports cars only 2, or some pickup trucks can be only 2. We can also describe a car using this material they use to construct the seat. So what are the common materials they use? Nylon seats, vinyl seats, we have the natural leather seat, and we have the artificial leather seat, and we have a polyester seat. So these are examples of the materials they use to prepare the seat. Okay, what are other ways we can describe a car? We can describe a car by the price. We say the car is affordable price or has an affordable price. We say the car is a low price car, or another way of saying it is a cheap car. We can also say it's an expensive car. So let's see examples of cars that we can use to qualify these. So this is an affordable car, which is a Beetle, what we call Fusca. So this is affordable because it's cheap. This is an expensive car. It's a Land Rover or Range Rover. So it's expensive. Or other examples can be BMW, can be Ferrari, can be Porsche. So these are expensive cars. Okay, we can also say that the car is a futuristic, which means a concept car that will be produced in the future. It's not yet used now. So we can also use it. So we can say the car is cheap or the car is expensive. So there are many words we use to describe. Okay, for design, we can say it's a futuristic or innovative. Now we can also describe a car using the drivetrain. What is a drivetrain? A drivetrain means the way it moves, the way the wheels are connected. So the engine of a car can be two-wheel drive. So you see the symbol two-wheel drive. This two-wheel drive can be front-wheel drive or could be rear wheel. Rear means back wheel drive. Or a car can be all-wheel drive. That is the cars they use where you have a lot of snow. Generally, it has to be all-wheel drive. Example is um, what is the make of this car? It's just a typical example of an all-wheel drive car. Generally, it's recommended where you have snow. Okay, so we say all-wheel drive is the same thing as four-wheel drive. So sometimes you can see at the back of a car they put AWD or 4WD. It means the same thing, all-wheel drive. So how do we represent this? The drive train can be represented this way. Two-wheel drive is this, which means two wheels are connected by an axle. So this two wheel can be front wheel drive, which means the wheels at the front are the ones that decide where you're going to. Or rear wheel drive means the ones at the back should decide the direction you're going to. And then this is the four wheel drive. You see the axis here and then connected at the center. So if you want to turn right, all the tires will turn right. If you want to turn left, all the tires will follow you and turn left. So this is what you call a four-wheel drive. All right, so let's see the other words we can use to to describe a car. We can describe a car using the body dynamics. Although this may seem a kind of technical, but what does it mean? Low body roll or high body roll. Body dynamics. Dynamics means a movement. So how does the body of the car, how does it behave when you want to enter into a curve? For example, this. So all the cars they have body roll. All cars have it because immediately you enter into a curve, the car will move this way or throw you that way. But then what happens is, how is the body roll? Is it very high or very low? If the body roll is very low, which means the car is stable. If it has a low body roll, which means the car is very stable. If it has a high body roll, it means the car is not stable. For example, you have Audi. Audi, they call it what? Quattro. Okay, what are they trying to tell you when they say, is it Quattro, so Audi? They are telling you that when you enter into a curve, that the four wheels are so stable that you have a very low body roll. That's the meaning of Quattro. Quattro means the four wheels are very stable on the ground, that you have a very low body roll. Alright, so we also can describe a car using the condition of use of the car. Is it a new car or what we call 0 kilometer? Or is it a used car? The one has been used for some time. Okay, it can be a new car, or another way of saying it's a 0 kilometer or a used one. We can also describe a car by talking about its maintenance cost. Does a car have a low maintenance cost, average maintenance cost, or a high maintenance cost? That is, after buying the car, do you have to always be going to the mechanic all the time? If you want to change the parts, how much does it cost you? Is it very expensive or very low? So that is what we mean by maintenance. The cost of maintenance, is it low, average, or high? Another way we can describe a car is by the power it pumps. That is the capacity, the power. And this power is measured in horsepower. Okay, so we have cars like 150 horsepower, which is it's not a high powered cars. And we have until, for example, you have Porsche 911 turbocharge. Porsche 911 turbocharge has 640 horsepower. So it's very high, or that is what you call performance cars. That's the ones they use for drifting. Okay, so you have examples of these cars they call performance cars. Porsche is there. You have, for example, BMW 5 Series, and the other cars that are really, you have Mustang. Okay, so they pump very high horsepower. Of course, the the consumption of the fuel is also very high. But people buy them because of the power it has. People who use them, they are not worried about the consumption of the fuel. Okay, so these are the the words we use to describe cars. Okay, we talk about the make, the body style, the doors, the gear transmission system, source of power, engine capacity, fuel consumption, number of seats, seat material, the price, design, drivetrain, body dynamics, conditions of use, maintenance cost, and the power. Now over to you. So use these words and now describe your own car. Okay, over to you. Can you use the words you learned in this class to describe your car? All right, so describe, put as many words as you like. If you have any doubts or anything, you just put them down in the comment section. I'm going to respond to you. What you see here is exactly how the professionals describe cars you see on the street. And these are the criteria that people, although many people are not aware of that, but one or two factors will make people to buy a determined car. Yeah, or people buy a car because of performance, or because of the power it pumps, or because of the consumption of the fuel. So these are the criteria we use to describe the cars. So we'll see you in our next class where we are going to describe another product to show you how it is done in practice. See you.